Hey, you guys, my name is Wayne Jackson. Some people may call me Ken, Kenneth, Kenny, or just Jackson. As long as it's my name, I really don't care. Most people here call me Wayne, though. And this is my blessed story. My family and I were driving home. I seen these two kids. They were walking down the street, and I would say they're probably like 19 to 20 years old. And we're looking at these kids walking, and they have backpacks, and they have a stroller, and they have a tent, and they have these things. And I kind of noticed it as I drive past, and once we get to the house and we drop the motorcycle off, we're on our way back out, and we see these same kids. And it was a young man and a young woman, but what we noticed was they no longer had the stuff that they had in their hands. So automatically in my head, I'm telling my wife, I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. They just had a boatload of stuff on their back, and something didn't seem right. And so we get up to the light by the gas station, and we see them on the right-hand side. And so I pull into the gas station, and my wife and my kids, one thing they know about me, they're like, oh, Dad, you're always stopping for somebody, or you're always trying to help somebody, or, and we were tired. it's one of those nights, it's like, you're tired, but for me, I always feel like if a thought runs across my head to do any type of helping for anybody, then it must be a God appointment and not a me appointment. And so when I pulled into that gas station, I see the young lady and the young man, they're walking up kind of slowly, and you can kind of tell that they seen the fact that we kind of maybe had stopped for them. And so I pulled up to the pump to kind of act like we didn't. And then I get out the car like I'm gonna go get some gas. I'm just like, I say, hey, are you guys all right? And they just kind of looked at me kind of like, what do you mean, am I all right? And I was like, no, are you guys all right? I've seen you guys walking with a whole bunch of stuff in your hand. You don't have it right now. Are you guys good? You need any help? And the young man, he was kind of sitting there kind of baffled. And then in a moment, you can kind of see, how you can see somebody getting, those tears starting to well up in their eyes. He started to kind of do that. And I'm like, what's up? Do you guys need anything? Are you hungry? Do you need food? And the young man just said, we just got kicked out of our house. And they stayed with family, and family kicked them out. And I wasn't asking for the particular details of why they got kicked out or anything like that. But it was two kids that were my kids' age. And looking at them was like, I know if it was my own kids, I would want somebody to lend them a hand in whatever shape or form that looks like. And so I asked them about the stuff they had, and they were like, well, we have a tent, we have this thing where we're just gonna camp, we hid our stuff in the woods, we're just coming over here to get us something to eat and something to drink. And I was like, well, do you guys want us to get you something to eat? Do you guys need somewhere to stay tonight? Like, what is that looking like? They were just looking around like, I wanna say yes, but I don't wanna say yes. And trying to make this long story short, because it got pretty long really quick, we ended up driving around for about 2 hours to almost midnight trying to find a hotel for these guys to stay in that we could pay for, that we can afford on our end, but was also not gonna put them in some sketchy situation at the same time. And ironically, every hotel was booked up in the area, and the prices were jacked up so high because it was Seafair weekend. And so all the hotels were booked out. And so we went, and we hopped from hotel to hotel, asking if they had rooms, Finally, we found a spot. We got a room for these guys, and we're able to pay for them to stay for 2 nights at a hotel. Prayed with them, invited them to church. We still talk, we still communicate. They still want to find themselves here. The young gentleman, I've cut his hair and had some great conversations with them. They're doing well. And for us, it was bigger than just that moment. It was trying to allow somebody to understand that even in your weakest moment, even in your darkest moment, and even in an area in which you don't feel like God is there, God is always looking out for us. And for those young people at 20 and 19 years old to see a man and a woman in a family of Christ give them a helping hand when nobody else would, that spoke volumes to them. And so God says go out to the highways and the hedges, Luke 14:23. And I'm a firm believer that, we got to go out sometime and help the community, and the community doesn't always have to come to us because we are the community, no matter where we're at. So that's my blessed story. You guys enjoy your day.